started here. Welcome back, Coach Jesus, and I am back with our awesome member. It's been a while since we've spoken, and just wanted to sit down and talk to Susan about her experience with us and just overall her journey as a her journey, on her weight loss and fitness experience here. So what I wanted to do now is just give you a chance to, people get to know about you and just overall the things that you experienced over the years. Because I know you've done a lot of things in terms of different programs you've tried and that kind of thing. So tell people about you and just give us an idea of who you are and your background of, of the things that you've worked on and the things that you do right now.
Hi, my name is Susan. And I am 56 years old, and I am a mother of 3, and I have an adult son, Alexander, and he's 28, and a daughter who's 20. Her name is Emily, and I have a daughter who is 17, and her name is Julia. I am also a teacher with special ed students, and I teach adult special needs, 18 to 22-year-olds. I went back to school when I was 50, or when I was 47, and I graduated when I was 50. I became a nutritionist, and I've worked a little bit in that industry. I worked at a high school kitchen, and then I moved on to this working with special needs. It's the best thing I've ever done as far as my career. And I've worked on fitness and my health most of my life. I've always struggled with weight loss and keeping in shape. Keeping in shape was not as much of a challenge as keeping the weight off. And I was always athletic in school, but I never had guidance as to how to eat right. And I had older sisters who tried to get the weight off quickly. And the first quote diet I ever worked on was the stewardess diet. And that was hilarious. It was, having a grapefruit and a cup of coffee for breakfast and having a dry piece of chicken and some V8 or something. And you did it for 4 days. You're supposed to lose 10 pounds. And I was 16. I was on the softball team, and when I almost passed out running to first base, that's when my parents put the kibosh on it. They didn't even know I was doing it. I was secretly doing it. And then as I got older, and when I was an adult, 18, and for many years, I went off and on with Weight Watchers. And when I say off and on, I would do it and I get to goal. And then I would do it, and then I would get off Weight Watchers, and then I would, and then I go back to my habits. And then I did different things like Whole30, and I didn't really understand it as well. So I read through it, but it was just very high protein based. And I lost 30 pounds. Wait, not 30 pounds, I'm sorry. In 30 days, I lost 15 pounds. But you can't weigh yourself or check anything. You don't do measurements of yourself or anything. You just do this program. So I kind of overdid it on the proteins. I was cutting out carbs completely, cutting out so many things. And I ended up just shortly after there, folded over. I drove myself to the hospital with gallstones and caused by the overdose of protein, is my understanding. So I, I that didn't work, and I was just trying. I go, oh, I'm going to go back to Weight Watchers. I've been at goal 3 times with Weight Watchers, so that just says something about it. I know a lot of people do Weight Watchers and they succeed, but what I hear with many diets or plans or whatever you want to call them is that I is that people say when I was on this, well, the program that I worked with Jesus, that was I'm still on it, so to speak, because it's something that, like, I've seen with, like, on The Biggest Loser or something, they were like, I had that aha moment. And that's where I had what I had with working with Jesus. It was like, I was working on it. And we were, in the beginning, we were trying to figure things out, or I was. He knows what he's doing, but I was here. I was, you know, it's not a strict plan. It's something that I have been able to live with, and it's something that I can do for life. And next month, February, about mid-month, I have to check, but it's going to be a year that I've kept it off. I have never kept the weight off for a year, ever. And I've I've followed what Jesus has guided me with, and I mean it was tough in the beginning because some, like, when you go to these different places like Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or these different programs, you go once a week and they go, okay, well, maybe next time or whatever, you'll you can do better. But I was sending my a picture of my food every meal, everything I ate. There was a picture of it. I sent it to Jesus, and he would say, "What is that?" Well, what, and I would say, "Well, these are nuts." And he's all, "Where's your protein?" Well, that's not my protein, and we figured it all out. And it was just it actually started to be fun after a while. It was like I was, putting everything nicely together, my water, my coffee in the morning, and then, but that accountability made a huge difference in sending my weight in every single day. It made sense after a while. I was first like, oh, every day, but it just makes you accountable. And when somebody else is seeing that every single day, it makes a difference. And it wasn't embarrassing for me because, I when I first sat down with you, Jesus, I felt very comfortable. I didn't, because we had, I come to your workouts a few times before, and just your demeanor and everything made me feel right at home. And I, when I signed up for it, I just I couldn't get a hold of my husband to ask him, but he's like, "You what?" and but I signed up for it, and it has been the best thing I ever did. And some people, I've talked to them about it, and the cost was not a big deal for me because I've paid the price over and over again, and I didn't get these results.
Let's
So,
talk about that. Let's talk about the things that you've done in the past that made it difficult for you to reach, obviously, to reach your goal and maintain it. Obviously, you talked about Weight Watchers 3 times you've been at goal. What was it so difficult for those programs for you to reach your goals, or for you to maintain those your goals?
well, there was, I just remember they they would talk about, oh, you can cheat by doing this, you can cheat by doing that. And I didn't like that, having that in my head, that like, oh, if you weigh your food um, instead of measuring it, uh, like instead of having a cup of something, if you weigh it by ounces, you get more. And they're always talking about getting more food in, and more. And I'm not talking about more vegetables. I'm talking about ice cream or something like that, and they and the foods they had, like they offered their own foods, but they were, there was cookies and things like that. And I and they didn't seem to have solutions to, like, if you came over, and you asked a question, they would say, like, what do you think you should do? And I I just went at Weight Watchers. If you got to goal, then you can, and you kept it off for 90 days or something, you could work there. But, at the time, I hadn't studied nutrition or anything. And if I had, I probably wouldn't have worked there. But I worked there, started to work there for a little bit. And then I thought, you know what? I don't have the knowledge that is needed to guide somebody. And I and that's something I saw. And I know people that work for different places, like Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers, and they don't really know. They don't have the knowledge that, like, you have, spoken to me about the proteins and all the different things and how they work together.
Right. What was that moment, that aha moment for you, where it felt like it was like different, like it was a different, like this time it was gonna be different for you?
Well, it was just that, when I was putting the breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, and it was like the different, like, packages, so to speak, where it was like vegetables, a carb and a protein for breakfast and lunch, and then a fat vegetable and a protein for dinner. And I was looking at those things, and then the snacks. I was looking at those, and I started picking and choosing what I wanted to eat. Like, I never did this before, but when I started um, picking what I wanted to eat, like when I go for Thanksgiving, I would just eat the stuff because I didn't want people to feel bad that I didn't eat their food. So, but I just said, you know what, I got to stop this. I got to do this for me. And I I started eating the foods that I wanted to eat. And um through, your through the meal plan, all the different things you had on the list. And and I would ask you, why can't you have this? Why can't we have this? And you would be right there with it. Like, why can't you have, like, I know corn and peas and, but squash, I didn't know how much, all of the sugar that it released. And so the aha moment was, it's like, I don't have to eat, I don't have to eat the foods that, just because they're there. And I've been doing it so long, just please please people, and I don't I don't let people be the food pushers. I don't eat what I don't want to eat, and so.
Right. I know you didn't. Well, originally you started with me right before Thanksgiving and right before the holidays. And now you obviously gone through it twice because it's been about a year now. How awesome has it been for you being able to basically be able to participate in these types of events and meals and not feel like you have to restrict yourself?
Well, what I do is the one thing that you told me, and I've known this all along, but I don't know why it just was that boom aha moment when you said it. It's like it's one day. It's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving. It's not all the rest of the time. Like I I ate what I wanted to eat on
Yep.
that one day. Period. Like, on Christmas, I ate, you know, what I wanted to eat, and it's we always eat what my son wants because his birthday's on Christmas. So, and he's pretty healthy, so that's like a no big deal. But I'll have like dessert if I want it, and then that'll be it. The next day, I go back to how I eat, and um, and the only thing that I found is that people say, "Can you eat this? Can you eat this?" And it was a struggle at first, but now I just say, "I can, but I don't want to." It's
Right.
not something I like. I've realized I don't like a lot of things that I've been, you know. So.
Have you felt restricted, or did you feel restricted at all over the last year with any type of food, or just overall any restrictions or anything that you felt like you were missing out?
Um, I'm I like ice cream a lot, but
Mm.
and that was a struggle, but I can eat but I'll have something, and I got these little, they're called Hold the Cone. They're like this big. It's an ice cream cone that's from Trader Joe's. And I just said, it's like eating a couple of spoons of ice cream or something, and it's satisfying. So I don't um I don't like restrict everything. I don't feel restricted, but I it's just something that I've changed my life, and I love it. I don't feel I don't because and but also I never was a like a soda drinker or fast food or anything. So I've but so I haven't really felt restricted.
Right. Tell us about your the some of the things you've experienced. The results of your experience, not necessarily just so much the number on the scale, but other things that you experience just as benefits from doing the program.
Well,
Because you
I
lost what, 30 pounds, right?
yes, I lost 30 pounds. So it I felt better about I got knee replacement surgery. I had it at the end of May, and I was 30 pounds lighter, um and I was having a lot of hip and on top of my knee problems, I was having a lot of hip problems too. Losing the weight helped tremendously. I still needed the surgery because this is an injury that was from when I was 18. So it's a long, long time ago. So I, but going in for the surgery and the recovery made a huge difference
Right.
because I was because I'm, athletic and I like to work out and everything, the it was easier to do the physical therapy with the weight loss, physical therapy was a lot easier to
For
recover.
you, it was a little bit different because you were not doing any workouts. You were just mostly doing your bike at home, right?
Correct.
Right. So for a lot of people, sometimes they feel like, well, if I can't work out, then I can't lose the weight. But even though it is exercise technically, it's not the type of workouts that most people feel like they have to do to lose weight. So you still had a way to make it happen.
Yes.
Right.
And well, when we were when I was working with you, I mean, we still are, but in the beginning when I was losing the weight, I I was working a little bit on an indoor bike and I was walking. And I remember when we were doing 30 minutes a
Yep.
day, 3 times a week minimum, 3 to 5 times a week. Well, that's pretty much what I was doing. And when you and I talked, it's mainly about the food you put in your body,
Yeah.
for fueling your body. I've always said that, like, people say diet and exercise, but it's not a 50-50 thing. It's more like what, 80% what you
Yep.
intake and 20%. And um, the like I lost the weight not by doing all of the um, like by doing strenuous workouts. I was just walking. I
Yeah.
mean, not just walking, but I was walking, and I was it was just changing my eating habits.
Huge part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, we've seen some of the photos, the before and after photos. How's your confidence? How do you feel physically now that I was going through these changes?
I feel really good. When I saw the before and after, I mean, I posted them and I couldn't believe it. I
Yeah.
mean, my daughter was showing me a picture of when we went on a cruise a year and a half ago, and she said, "Mom, look at you." And she said, "Look how amazing, the change." And she wasn't saying, "God, look at you," back then, but she was saying, like,
Yeah.
"Wow," and it's really great, and just it's a good feeling, and it helps a lot with my confidence. I've been a confident person most of my life, but it just seeing the results. The one thing that was really, I mean, it's kind of funny, but I was taking a shower and I could feel the difference, just washing, and I could feel the difference in my legs, in my waist, and that was that was a great feeling. So, and I'm now I share clothes with my 20-year-old
Awesome.
jeans and stuff, so that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. And so I'm not trying to dress like a 20-year-old, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
You're able to if you wanted to. Yeah, I got
yeah,
you.
exactly. So, but yeah, so it just feels really nice, and it just feeling healthy and feeling good, and just being able to do more, you know.
Yeah. Awesome. Uh, Obviously, you talked about your husband's reaction when you signed up. What's his reaction now after you been at your goal and just seeing the progress you've gone through?
Oh, he was just all along. He was just like, "Wow, this is a lot to do. You're doing a great job." And he's very supportive, and he was he wasn't shocked at all, but he was just very, very proud of me. And he, he just really has been, he and my kids are, very, very proud of me.
At some point, he was doing it with you as well, right?
Yeah, he does. Like I've gotten, um, my daughter's mostly on board, but he does he eats pretty much what I eat because
Yeah.
I make the food. So what are they gonna do,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but like there's a little bit of adjustment sometimes, like, you know, I'll leave out the pasta at dinner time or whatever. But yeah, he's very happy with it. Like when I said, okay, I'm going to be on live with Jesus, and he said, wow, you look amazing, you know, you know, and so it's really nice to hear. So
What's been in your just if you were to just summarize your experience with the program, what would you say?
oh, what could I say? Well, I recommend it to anyone. I know, you know, try to look at the big picture. It's like that's what you have to do when you're looking at this, because some a lot of programs say, oh, only $7 a week or $10 a week, but when you look at it in the long run, it's the same cost, and you're not getting what you're getting from you, Jesus. I um I just gained a lot and lost a lot, but
Yeah.
weight, you know.
Yep.
But I gained a lot of knowledge, and it was just an amazing experience, and it's just something that, you know, I feel like, you know, I just want to shout it out to everybody, and I guess that's what I'm doing now. But you know, if anybody wants to talk about it or has any questions, you know, if I didn't answer anything, I mean, of course, there's some struggles, but it was totally worth any of the little tiny struggles I had to go through. So it's just something, like I said, I highly recommend, um, and I think you're amazing at what you do, and it's, you know, with the combination of your knowledge and you're being able to you work well with everyone, and just the accountability, it is, you know, is great, you know. So that's the bottom line is the accountability.
Yeah, for sure. How does it feel to say that you've kept it off for basically a year or just about a year now?
It just feels great. I've never said that before, so you know, yeah, it's just a wonderful feeling to say that. And you know, I just I mean, with you checking in, you know, from time to time after that too, and seeing how I'm doing and everything, that was the encouragement too, that I liked it. It helped me, just like, oh, he's still there, and everything. So remember, everyone, he's always there for you.
Always watch.
Even when you're finished,
Yeah.
when you're quote finished with the program. But yeah, it feels awesome. I mean, I just was thinking about that today. It's like, hush, it's going to be a year,
Yeah.
you
Few
know?
holidays and you still kept it off.
Yeah. Yes.
And even through all this craziness that we've gone through the last year, you still keep
Yeah.
it off.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's very, I'm very happy for you because obviously you've gone through a lot of different programs and the whole yo-yo thing. It's can definitely get frustrating for a lot of people. And just knowing that you're able to keep it off even after all this time, and obviously it feels like you got to figure it out. So I'm very happy about that.
Mm.
All right. Anything else that you would like to say? Any last words?
Um,
Would you
Nothing
recommend
really.
body performance to somebody else that's thinking about it?
I'm sorry?
Would you recommend body performance?
Oh yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, like I said, you are very knowledgeable, and it's a great program. I mean, it's I'll say it once and I'll say it a million times. It's something you can do for life. It's not a temporary thing. It's something that anyone can live with for the rest of their life. And, you know, I'm a good example. I've done it a year and I'll come back in another year and we'll sit down here and we'll do it again if you want. But I highly recommend this to anyone.
Awesome.
So
Appreciate that, Susan. Well, that's it. I mean, it's definitely good to see you, talk to you again. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But other than that, I definitely appreciate your support over the year, because I know it's been longer than a year. I know we officially started working together was a year ago, but you've been kind of coming in and on and off with the workouts for longer than that. So I appreciate your time and I appreciate your effort and support over the last few years. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
All right. Well, thank you once again, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.